Hello, students, and welcome to Module 5. In this module, we will be working on CLOs 1 and 2. As always, with the disclaimer, while there are no date restrictions on your modules, focus on completing this before the 6th week of class if you want to stay on a weekly schedule. As always, the video that I'm doing now will be listed here in the Module 5 intro video. So let's go over the overview, objectives, and required readings for this particular module. So the overview, we want to discuss the pipes and valves used to distribute water. We want to describe the different valves and pipes, explain hydraulics and how water moves through pipes, identify the causes and results from water hammer and tuberculation, and identify the operational and maintenance criteria for valves. For this particular module, we will be reading chapters 6 and 7 in our water distributions operator book. And chapter 6 is on pages 80 through 92. Chapter 7 is on pages 93 through 112. As with each module, we have supplementary material, and so let's look at that for this particular module. We're going to look at water distribution grades 1 and 2, ductile iron pipes, and water distribution grades 1 and 2, steel pipes, water distribution grades 1 and 2, PVC pipes, water distribution 1 and 2, PE pipes, water distribution 1 and 2 concrete pressure pipe, water distribution grades 1 and 2 valves, and water distribution 1 and 2 backflow prevention devices. All right, so it's quite a few videos in this particular module, but they are all excellent videos and give you great information to help you understand a little bit more about pipes and valves. So, with every module, there is a problem set in this one. We are doing a research paper, all right? We talked about the research paper. I introduced it in Module 4. In this module, you will be doing the rough draft, all right? So you're going to take your topic that you discussed, that you submitted in Module 4, and you're going to discuss it here in Module 5 for your rough draft. Like I said in the video for Module 4, you want to treat your rough draft as if it is the final draft so that when I give you comments, there'll be very few things that you need to tweak in order to submit your final draft in Module 7, right? And so keep in mind, I did go over this in detail and it's written here in detail. I'm not going to go over it again in this video, but I do want to point out a few things. Keep in mind that your title page, remember, that should be on a separate page. Your reference page should be on a separate page as well. The body of your paper needs to be at least 3 pages long, all right? 3 pages, no more than 4 pages, all right? And if you follow this guideline, you should be able to easily get 3 to 4 pages. And they need to be 3 full pages, not just do a couple of sentences on the third page, but they really need to be 3 full pages in order to meet the length requirement. All right, very important on that. I don't want you to lose points for this. Very important that it is double spaced. Very important that it's 1 inch margin all the way around. Very important that it's 12-point font and that it's Times New Roman. All of these points are very important because that gives you a very good length for your paper. Right here, there is an APA 7 student sample paper to help guide you with your rough draft. So it says it's currently, oh, unavailable. All right, so what I need to do is I need to make sure that this paper is accessible to you. So By the time you see this video, this paper will have the corrected sample paper for you so that you can be able to view what a sample paper looks like. Because this may be the first time that you are writing a research paper for a class. And I want you to be able to have a good reference. Although this sample paper has nothing to do with water distribution, it just gives you an idea of how to set up your paper. Right. But if you have questions, please let me know. All right. So along with your module 5, problem set 5, and your rough draft, you will also have an activity. You notice that there is not a quiz for this module. Because you have a rough draft for your paper and you also have an activity, I opted out of giving you a quiz for this week. So the only thing you have will be that, or for this module, not for this week, I apologize, for this particular module. So there is no quiz for this module, but there is an activity. So the module 5 activity. So this module, and I'm going to change that from week to module. This module, we explored several types of pipes used in water and wastewater infrastructure, including ductile, iron, steel, PVC, PE, and concrete. For this module's assignment, you will create an audio recording where you explain one pipe type in your own words, okay? And so step one, so you're going to choose your pipe material. So one of these you're going to choose from. So whether it be ductile iron, steel, PVC, which is polyvinyl chloride, PE, which is polyethylene, or concrete. Step two, you're going to create a 2 to 5 minute audio recording. So you do not have to be visible. This is an audio recording. So in your recording, you're going to clearly explain the following. Description of the pipe material. What is it made of? How is it produced or manufactured? What characteristics make it unique? Advantages. So discuss at least 3 advantages such as strength, durability, flexibility, longevity, corrosion resistivity, or cost efficiency. So 3 of those advantages. And you might have an advantage that's not in this list. That's perfectly fine. This is just to give you some examples of some advantages. Then you need to discuss 3 disadvantages, such as high cost, corrosion potential, installation challenges, pressure limitations, and environmental concerns. Again, your disadvantages don't have to be in this list, just as long as you list 3 disadvantages. But not just list them, you want to discuss them. So you want to talk about, say, for example, your disadvantage is high cost. You want to describe why it's a high cost or what makes it a high cost or what is the cost comparison to something else or what is the actual cost. So you want to do some discussion of it. And then real world examples. You want to provide at least 2 examples of where this pipe is used today, such as water distribution lines, sewer lines, force mains, industrial systems, or storm water infrastructure. If you're currently working in industry and you're using a particular pipe, then choose the pipe you're using because then you can talk about it and you can give examples of how you're using it in your industry. All right. So your submission requirements, your audio must be 2 to 4 minutes in length. Okay. Very important that it meets that length requirement. You want to clearly state your name and the pipe type you selected at the beginning of your audio. You want to upload an audio file in either MP3, a WAV, or an M4A format. Okay. So that I can easily listen to your audio submission, all right? You want to speak clearly and at a steady pace. Organize your points before recording. Avoid recording directly from a script. Sound natural and sound confident. Use credible sources to support your information, all right? Very important. So this is kind of like a podcast, right? That you're going to be doing. So think of it like a podcast where you're giving someone information. You're doing like an informational talk on your particular pipe. All right. So it's very important that you sound like you know what you're talking about. All right. So this is your rubric for this particular podcast. All right. Or this particular audio recording. So very important. If you have questions, all right, and I put 2 to 4 some places and 2 to 5 other places, but it's 2 to 5. So I am going to update those instructions so that you see that it's 2 to 5 minutes. That is the length. All right. I put 2 to 5 and then put 2 to 4. So I have it different places, but it should be 2 to 5. No more than 5, no less than 2. But if you have questions, let me know. And as always, have an awesome time doing this module, and I will see you in Module 6. Have a great day.